Welcome, sports fans. Welcome to Sports and Knowledge today. I hope everybody's doing well. Today is a good day to talk about some college football. We have exactly 38 days left before the first college football game begins on Saturday, August the 27th, during week 0. Last time I mentioned the Louisville Cardinals schedule and my predictions for their upcoming season. This time I will be covering the North Carolina Tar Heels, their schedule, and my predictions for their upcoming season. So I have a question for you guys. Can the UNC Tar Heels win the ACC? Can they win 8 or more games? And can they win the Coastal Division of the ACC? Let's find out. It all starts with Matt Brown. Everybody knows Matt Brown is the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. Last year they went 6-7, as I mentioned before. This year they had the 11th ranked recruiting class in the whole country. Matt Brown is also one of 6 head coaches to win a national championship. You have Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, Kirby Smart, Jimbo Fisher, and Ed Orgeron. But however, Ed Orgeron is not officially a head coach right now. For some reason, LSU found a way to get rid of head coach as soon as they win a national championship. You have Ed Orgeron and Les Miles, and they got rid of him for some reason. I don't know why. But UNC had a great quarterback last year. His name was Sam Howell. He set all the school records in passing yards and passing touchdowns. He is now the quarterback for the Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders used to be the Washington football team, and before that, the Washington Redskins. They changed their name a lot recently. He was a 5th round draft pick in the 2022 NFL draft. This year, they having a quarterback duel between Jacoby Criswell and Drake May. Drake May is the bigger player. He's 6'5", Criswell is 6 foot. But however, Jacoby Criswell is more experienced, but they also like Drake May ceiling because he's 6'5" and has a good arm. I'm thinking that maybe Criswell would be the starter. It would be a 2-quarterback system this year. They would be one of those teams that have 2 quarterbacks. They'll be playing 2 quarterbacks. One might play first half, one might play second half, one might play one series, one might play this series. It all depends on what Coach Matt Brown decides. Now, as far as the backfield, they have some experience in the backfield. They have British Brooks and they have DJ Jones. British Brooks and DJ Jones will probably be top 10 running backs in the ACC. I'm predicting both of these running backs can go 500 rushing yards this year. Everybody know that Chandler was a transfer last year from Tennessee. He went to North Carolina, and now he's in the NFL playing for the Minnesota Vikings. At wide receiver, North Carolina would not have any drop off there. They would have a top 5 wide receiver in the whole college football in Josh Downs, and they will also have his partner Antoine Green and Josh Downs combined for over 2,000 receiving yards last season. And also Josh Downs was all ACC. I'm thinking that Josh Downs can probably be an All-American this year. At tight end, they have Bryson Nesbitt, who can beat you deep, and he will be an X factor on that offense because you have those running backs and those wide receivers to pay attention to. So Bryson Nesbitt, should be get into some zone, be open, catch the ball, run upfield for a touchdown or a first down. In the last video when I mentioned Louisville Cardinals about their offensive line, that offensive line coach will now be the North Carolina offensive line head coach. His name is Jack Bicknell Jr. But that offensive line will have a lot to prove. They have a weakness in pass blocking. If Ty Chandler wasn't so, if he wasn't so good, that offensive line would look very trash. Ty Chandler was a good running back, and so if he had made the NFL and had that trash offensive line, he has to be good. So British Brooks and the other running back will have a lot to prove with this offensive line. Defensive wise, their defense was one of the worst in the ACC last year. Their defense allowed 32 points per game. This was 105th in the nation. They also allowed 6.5 yards per play. They had the 10th best defense in the ACC. They have a lot to prove. They do have defensive coordinator Gene Chizik. He was the head coach for Auburn when they won the national championship with Cam Newton. They have guys like Ray and Miles Murphy. Both was all second team all ACC last year. He would have those guys to work with. They would also have redshirt Keyshawn Silver, who was a five-star recruit last year. They also will have true freshman Travis Shaw, another five-star, will be on that defensive line. So they have some good recruits. Like I said, they had the number 11 ranked recruiting class for 2022. At linebacker, they would have senior Chris Collins, a transfer linebacker from Virginia. They would have Noah Taylor, a four-star, and Malachi Hammer. At corner, they would have Leon, I think this is a Mexican name, Quevanos. He was a transfer from Ohio State, and he is talented. They also have Tony Grimes. He was all ACC. He had 47 tackles and 2 tackles for loss out of high school. He was a five-star recruit. So Tony Grimes is very talented, being a five-star recruit. He is also a top 5 corner in the ACC. He would definitely play on Sundays if he plays more consistent. So defense need to be able to stop the run, but I do think they will be doing well with the pass. They can do well with the pass. They just got to stop the run. At safety, they have a top 20 safety in all of college football, and Cameron Kelly. Kelly is a former 4-star recruit. Auburn had him in 2019, but he transferred before the season started. He was all ACC third team. Any SEC team will definitely want Kelly as a safety. He's a hard-hitting safety. Now let's get on to the schedule. As you can see, the first game of the year, August 27th, 38 days from today, they play FAMU Rattlers. This will probably be a blowout. I don't think FAMU can compete with North Carolina talent. The check mark is a win, and the X is a loss. So I am predicting that, North Carolina will beat FAMU. The next game is Appalachian State. Years ago, I never forget it. Years ago, Appalachian State upset Michigan. Michigan was coming off a top 10 ranked year. They was ranked in the top 10 coming into the season, and Appalachian State upset them. I also remember one year they almost beat Tennessee years ago. So I doubt that Matt Brown would be embarrassed like this by being upset by Appalachian State. I think that North Carolina will win this game. I don't think it will be close. Next, they have Georgia State. Georgia State is also one of those teams that it was one SEC team. I think they had played really well, but they lost. But like I said, I think Matt Brown is a terrific head coach. I don't think he'll be embarrassed by these first 3 games by having a loss. I think they'll be going 3-0 before they play Notre Dame on September 24th, and they will be coming off a bye week. Do I think they can beat Notre Dame? Yes, I do think so. I think they could beat Notre Dame if the defense can stop the run. I know the defense can do well with the pass, but they have to stop the run. I wouldn't be surprised North Carolina win this game. However, I wouldn't be surprised they lose this game. And I think Notre Dame probably has more talent than North Carolina, and that's why I have North Carolina losing this game. Next, they have Virginia Tech. I would give UNC a win, but it won't be easy against Virginia Tech. It's a good thing they are at home. If they were away at Virginia Tech, they have a good chance of losing that game, but it's a good thing they're at home. Now, this next game against Miami, this is a hit and miss right here. Miami head coach Mario Cristobal has done a lot of changes on that roster. They are talented at Miami this year, and they will be good. I have a schedule for Miami coming out very soon. I think that they will be a dangerous team in the ACC. I think Miami will beat North Carolina this year. They only beat Miami by 3 points last year when they had Sam Howell and Ty Chandler, and they don't have those 2 players in the backfield this year. I think that North Carolina is not there yet. I think Miami has, I think they're there before. They have it together a little more than North Carolina. I have Miami winning this game, so that means North Carolina loses this game. These next 3 games, I have all potential wins. But Pitt, when they play Pitt, I think that Pitt would be a good game. That is their homecoming. I wouldn't be surprised if Pitt beat them. If Pitt had them at Pitt, I think that North Carolina would lose, but North Carolina will have this game at home. And like I said, Matt Jones is a terrific head coach. I think that Matt Jones will have this team together by then. I know they'll beat Duke. That's why I'm not even mentioning Duke. Duke is probably the worst ACC team in the ACC. Now, if this was basketball, I think that Duke would beat North Carolina, but it's not. But however, I mean, North Carolina has had some upsets in basketball versus Duke. I mean, that is a good rivalry. That's probably the best rivalry in college basketball. But in college football, North Carolina would kill Duke easily. I know I kind of skipped and went back to Duke. You know, I just think Duke is irrelevant in football. Okay, let's go to Virginia. Virginia, they have 3 wide receivers that are very elite. They have 3 number 1 wide receivers. All of them are good. I just don't think that Virginia is talented enough outside of wide receiver level. I don't think their defense is good. They had probably the worst defense in the ACC last year. They just only offense, and I think that North Carolina defense will be good enough to contain Virginia's offense. So I have North Carolina winning this game. Next, they play Wake Forest. This is an away game. Wake Forest, Wake Forest was really good. They won 11 games last year. Their quarterback is returning this year. I think Wake Forest have it more together than North Carolina. I got North Carolina losing this game. The next game is against Georgia Tech on November 19th. Georgia Tech will probably be one of the worst teams in the Power 5 this year. I don't think Georgia Tech will have a chance of beating North Carolina this year. The next game is against North Carolina State. This is their in-state rivalry game. North Carolina State would definitely have a top 3 defense in the ACC, and they could run the ball. I remember they played Mississippi State last year. This was a good game at Mississippi State, and you have to be tough if you come to Mississippi State and compete with Mississippi State, an SEC team, and not get blown out, and you're an ACC team. I think you have a chance of winning this game versus North Carolina, even if it's at North Carolina. I have North Carolina State beating North Carolina. So my prediction is that North Carolina will go 8-4 this season. That is a improvement from last season. Last season they went 6-7, and I think that they will probably win a bowl game. So you're looking at North Carolina winning 9 games this year, and most likely they will have a even better recruiting class under Matt Brown. Who knows? They might be top 10. They might be number 9. They might be 11. They might be 12 in recruiting. But I see, as long as Matt Brown there, I don't see North Carolina being trash at all. I have them, being a above average team as far as being in the ACC. So, guys, let me know what you guys think. Be sure to hit that like button and, hit that subscribe button and put your comments down there and let me know what you think down in the comment section. Do you think they will win the ACC? Do you think they'll lose more games than win, or win more games than lose? What do you think their record will be? Just let me know. Thank y'all.